Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who... share the memory?
Could it be true, what I've heard?
Armed and ready. Let's end this now! The wrong test subject. Let's end this now! We'll meet again. Fry! Fry! Fall before me! This Fry! My blade! Fry! 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 Fry!
trouble. Let's go check out what's going on.
Still no dice?
Not at all. And I've asked pretty much everyone in the court of Fontaine already. Lynette's ears drooped as soon as she heard that we'd have to be out and about for days on end. And Fremine, he hid himself under his helmet as soon as he realized there'd be people around that he didn't know.
What about Chiori and Charlotte? I feel like both of them would be more than up to it.
I've asked them already, but they're both pretty busy right now. I just gave the members of the Spina a few days off, too, so I don't want to bother them either.
This is getting pretty difficult.
Navia, Clorinde, what's up?
Oh, my. Well, if it isn't my dear partners, how are you all doing?
Navia?
Huh? Oh, you mean...
Yep, this is our chance.
Do you need our help with something?
Oh, precisely. My dear partners, we've got a huge problem right now that only you can solve.
Whoa, for real?
Absolutely. We've already exhausted all our other options.
Traveler, Paimon, would you join us and play Marechaussee Hunter Judgment Day?
Marechaussee what now?
It's a new game script by the Tabletop Troupe, a local roleplay adventure club.
Ever heard of the Tabletop Troupe? They put out games that allow you to participate in a story and roleplay characters with your friends. Oh, I've loved their stuff ever since I was a kid.
That sounds super interesting.
Clorinde and I are both veteran members of the club. Recently, someone came up with a new script and was looking for people to help playtest it for them. And when they asked, of course I couldn't refuse. I mean, come on, a brand new script? Nobody has ever played it before.
Generally speaking, scripts at that level of development have a lot of issues, but I think this one is pretty solid. The author
Whoa. I know I was the one that handed you the script, but some of us haven't read it yet. No spoil...
Anyway, the script calls for a team of 4. Yes.
So, you're saying you'll help us out? I knew...
Paimon and the Traveler are kind of a package deal. Is that okay?
That's not a problem. I'll adjust the pace based on the actual number of players and ensure that everyone has a good time.
Well, Traveler, what do you think? Wanna play? Paimon will follow your lead.
Well, that solves our problem. You have our thanks.
Woohoo! I'll go grab the script manager from the club right away.
The script manager? Didn't you just...
The club introduced a completely new kind of gameplay for the script. In this iteration, the Game Master's version of the script is incomplete. The script manager provides the next part of the script only after players have completed the current list of... On top of that, in order to increase player immersion, the club has created some of the story's sets and scenes in real life. We'll only know where we should go once the script manager reveals the starting...
Wow, you're right. Whoever wrote this script really did put in a lot of work.
And it's got a real healthy amount of suspense, right? I mean, even the GM doesn't know how the story will...
I look forward to experiencing it with you all.
Why don't you go meet up with the others first? They should all be waiting at Chioria Boutique. I'll come over with the script manager as soon as I find them.
Sounds good. Remember to always watch where you're going, and don't rush.
You say that like I'm 6 years old or something. Let me think. What kind of character should I play this time?
I just hope you'll pick up some useful skills this time. Oh, and stop trying to persuade every animal you come across. Sorry to keep you waiting.
You're back! Huh? And you've got the Traveler and Paimon with you, too.
What a pleasant surprise. I assume you'll be joining us for the game then?
Linny, Farina! Paimon didn't know you were playing too. Are you all...
I'm more of a casual member, if anything. I haven't taken part in many formal club activities. Lynette, Fremine, and I play something similar at the Hotel Bouffe Tété sometimes, but I'm usually the GM. Still, I'm sure it'll be fun being a player for the first time. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I'm not a member of the club at all. Clorinde simply woke me up first thing this morning, said there was a good script worth experiencing, and asked if I wanted in.
If you're interested, I can give you a referral. That should give you a 40% discount on membership fees.
I think I'll wait to see how this experience plays out first, especially when it comes to the quality of the script. If it's sufficiently fun, then I'll join.
Do you participate in a lot of tabletop troupe activities, Clorinde?
You could say that. She's actually one of the few senior game masters of the troupe.
Right. I knew about that even when she was still my subordinate.
It's nothing. Really, just a small hobby of mine.
Wow. Paimon's so used to seeing you be all upstanding and intimidating as the champion duelist. It's kind of...
Surely you jest. I would never intentionally make things difficult for my players. I maintain a clear boundary between my professional and personal lives. The me you see at court represents the law and order of Fontaine. I put all personal feelings to the side and grant a fair duel to all who seek to defend their honor. But in my personal life, I'm just an ordinary person. Someone who feels anger and sadness, just like everyone else.
Well, you say that, but for all the time I've known you, I don't think I've ever seen you cry. I've seen you get angry, sure, but now I'm wondering whether you were actually mad or if it just looked that way from the outside.
I was probably in work mode during those times.
Is that so? Well, in any case, I just feel like even in your personal life, you don't get emotional very often.
So you want to see me cry? That might be a little difficult. A show of anger, though, that might be something I could accomplish.
No, that's not what I meant. I'm back! Here, allow me to introduce you to the script manager, Mr. Florian.
Pleasure to meet you all.
Hello. Wait, are you a champion duelist too, Mr. Florian?
Oh, no. This is just the costume provided by the club. I occasionally play a few of the roles in my scripts.
That sounds like a lot of work.
It's nothing. It's the least we can do to give the players a more immersive experience. Anyway, allow me to give you a brief introduction of the script. This script was adapted from the real history of the Marochaussee hunters. You all will play the role of hunters from a bygone era.
Paimon's not super familiar with the...
Oh, no problem at all. I can give you a brief rundown. Their story can be traced back to the ancient Remurian dynasty, as well as... But I'll leave the finer details for you to seek out and discuss.
And I'll provide additional commentary as the story progresses.
In that case, brave hunters, are you ready to set out on an unknown adventure?
Whoa, just one sentence and it's like we're in the story already.
Aha, I see many a determined gaze before me. Very well, head over to this location and begin your heroic journey.
So, as we follow the story, it leads us to specific scenes?
It's the exact location of the scene, as well as the formal permission to use the venue. Please check all your belongings, everyone, and make sure you haven't forgotten anything. Once you're ready, please follow me to the designated location.
Sounds good. Hunter Squad, move out!
Thought of everything. Even the phaetometer is here in the phaetometer.
It's a card that's used to determine action success or failure. We'll need to use it when we try to use certain skills.
And what about all the dessert and tea?
That's what the message said.
Really? That's so nice. It feels just like a tea party with friends.
Those snacks have Paimon's name written all over them.
I think you might be more of a snack hunter than a Marachose hunter, Paimon.
Snack Hunter Paimon reported for duty. If there are delicious snacks to be found, Paimon will track down every last one.
The desserts are great. But I'm still looking forward to the story more than anything.
Very fair. First, please pick up the blank character cards in front of you and write down your name and profession. You can find an abbreviated version of the rules printed on the back of your character card. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. In this story, everyone is a Marachose hunter. To reflect this, the club has prepared a small badge for everyone.
Ooh, nice!
As hunters, you have proficiency in swordsmanship and fighting by default, so there's no need to allocate any additional skill points to those areas.
Swordsmanship? So there's a fighting part to all of this? Paimon's not sure she can do all that on her own. Maybe Paimon can just stick with you?
Why don't you share a character card then? The Traveler will be the Marachose hunter, and you can be his little floating assistant.
Kinda like in real life. So, for the name, do I fill it out with the name of my character?
Yep, it can be any name you like.
You can use your real name too if you want. I do that whenever I get too lazy to think of a new name. Oh, so it would be like experiencing a different life, but still as yourself.
In that case, I think I'll continue to use the name Linny then.
Next up is the skill sheet. You have a limited amount of skill points that you can use to learn a number of skills. The more points you invest in a particular skill, the easier it will be to pass associated.
I'll take Persuasion and investigation.
Oh, those skills sound like they'd be useful for gathering intelligence. Good idea, Navia. Just as expected of a veteran player.
So, should we also take those skills then?
Not necessarily. Since we're working together as a team, we could leave the negotiations to Navia and use our skill points to pick up other useful skills. For example, I think I'll take stealth and sleight of hand. That
Oh, interesting. I wasn't thinking about it like that. Let me see. I'll take arts and performance. I'm not quite sure what use they'll be, but I'm not as knowledgeable about the other skills. And
Well, that leaves us. What do you want to learn, Traveler? Oh, something that'll help you get a read on other people's thoughts. Sounds useful. Ooh, so you want to help people when they're injured. So what do you think? Are you sure you want to learn these 2 skills? Sure, what do you want to learn? Haha! Gotta say, this suits you really well. Nothing boosts morale like good food. Ooh, so you want to help people. So what do you think? Are you sure you want to learn these?
Let's see. Oh, looks like you each have enough points to choose one final.
you've all picked such classic skills. It's fine to go a little bit out of the box, you know.
Why do I get the feeling she's getting ready to cause trouble?
For example, this one here. Summon. Doesn't it sound super mysterious and cool?
Oh, I saw that one just now as well. The description says, this skill can be used under certain circumstances to summon characters or creatures that fit the script's world-building rules.
the script's world-building rules, huh? But how are we...
Oh, that's not for us to worry about, my friend. Just learn the skills that interest you. And the GM will take care of the rest.
All right, you've convinced Paimon. Let's learn Summon then. Paimon can...
Well, now that everyone's more or less finished since 2 of our players are doing this for the first time, though, let me ask. Would you like to play on easy mode or authentic?
What's the difference between the 2?
Well, in role-playing games, the story sometimes changes based on the decisions of the players and the results of the Fatometer. For example, if you fail a check, that means you cannot use the target skill in that scenario. A critical failure may even result in further negative consequences. If you choose to play in authentic mode, every time you elect to use a skill, you'll need to use the Fatometer to see whether you succeed or fail, and face any consequences that may follow. If you choose easy mode instead, every check will be successful by default, and you won't have to worry about luck playing a factor.
Given that I'd like to focus on the story, I suppose I should pick easy mode. I'd feel bad if I brought the team down by failing my checks.
Huh? Oh, come on. Don't worry about that. RNG is the lifeblood of role-playing games. I'm going with authentic mode for sure. Never knowing what you might have to overcome. Ugh, doesn't that sound exciting?
I'd rather be mentally prepared for what might happen.
All right, then I'll mark down Farina for easy mode. All her checks will be successful by default. As usual, Navia and Linny will play on authentic mode.
What about you, dear partner? How would you like to play?
Are you sure?
Trust me, you'll see the beauty of RNG. Honestly, I don't think Clorinde would make things too difficult for us, no matter what the Fatometer says.
No promises.
That wasn't super reassuring.
Well, anyway, enough talk. Let's get started. I want to experience at least a good chunk of the story today.
Speaking of the story, why is the beginning scene on a beach?
Well, that's because, a long time ago, back when human civilization was still in its infancy, powerful demons and evil sorcerers ruled over the land. Soon, a group of human rebels banded together. With their swords raised, they swore to brave the darkness, and in doing so, subdue each and every monster that sought their destruction. Sometime later, as a member of the Marechaussee Hunters, you receive a commission. Following the address, as you inhale, you can taste the slightly salty air of the dark. Your eyes meet, and you realize these people are fellow Marechaussee Hunters, likely led to this location after receiving the same commission as you.
You're all Marechaussee Hunters too, right? Allow me to introduce myself. The name's Navia, monster hunter by trade and helpful neighborhood businesswoman on the side. What say you to traveling together? We can help each other out on the road.
Okay, count me in. My name is Linny. I've been wandering since I was little and picked up a few less than legal tricks along the way. I was adopted by a Marechaussee hunter and later chose to follow in his footsteps.
Is this where you introduce your character to everyone? It sounds like they've done this dozens of times. My name is Farina, and, I grew up in a noble family. I always had a strong interest in performance and the arts. Even though I'm a Marechaussee hunter, what I really want is to be a performing artiste.
Hey, that's really cool. You can do it, Farina. That's exactly how it's done.
Paimon is Paimon, a good friend and companion to this Marechaussee hunter right here.
I've been studying the culinary arts since I was a child. I hope my delicious food can help boost people's spirits.
That's wonderful. I'll be looking forward to your cooking during our adventures together.
Well, if we're all here for the same commission, why don't we take some time to confirm what we need to do?
You open your envelopes at the same time. The message reads, "To the honorable and trustworthy Marechaussee Hunters, our kingdom is currently facing a grave crisis. The lands outside the capital have been overtaken by monsters, and our people are being led astray by forces of wickedness. We beseech..."
The layout of this city looks super familiar. It kind of reminds Paimon of Mondstadt.
The scriptwriter must have used a real-world city as a reference when coming up with the map.
As experienced hunters, the layout of the city reminds you of places once traveled. You recall the sight of tree-lined streets and the gentle tranquility of days gone. Yet, as you regard the city in front of you, it appears to be little more than an empty shell. Its hollow gates are open to you, beckoning you to come forth.
I carefully read every line of the letter and turn my attention to the signatures at the bottom. Who issued this commission to us?
You see a long string of unfamiliar names. It would seem that many of the residents of the city issued this commission together. They sensed that things were not right within the kingdom and sent a distress signal to the outside world.
In that case, why don't we take a walk around the city and see if we can learn anything from the local residents?
Oh, good idea. We might be able to get some leads on the monsters and bad guys we're at.
You look up and see a tavern nearby. It appears to be open for the day.
Why don't we go check out that tavern? If the novels I've read are anything to go by, taverns are usually full of information.
As you approach the tavern, you find a plainly dressed woman standing nearby. She appears to be rather troubled about something.
Greetings, friend. Lovely weather we're having today, don't you think?
Oh, hello. I suppose you're right. The weather today is quite lovely. If only those monsters out there would stop causing trouble.
It seems like every character included in the script has a certain amount of useful information to offer. If we keep asking questions, we might be able to get some good leads.
Oh, come now, don't be sad. Life is all about optimism. Oh, that reminds me. What did you have for breakfast this morning?
I don't think that's the kind of question we're supposed to...
Nothing turns a frown upside down like good food. How about some macarons? I could make you some.
You didn't even take cooking as one of your skill proficiencies.
That's not necessary, miss. Excuse me for saying this, but you don't really look like a chef. Besides, I'm not
So you're someone who barely smiles and doesn't like sweets. You're really starting to remind me of this one friend of mine. Hey! Did she just... me?
Clorinde must have broke character for a second.
This isn't getting us anywhere. Traveler, maybe you can think of something.
Are you sure? In that case, please refer to the Fatometer. You remain silent as you prepare a pot and fire to use for cooking. The woman stares at you with her mouth agape as you skillfully cut the ingredients and toss them into the pot. After some time, a rich aroma begins to fill the air. Even a passing cat can't help but stop in its tracks and look up in anticipation.
Please have some food. Who knows, maybe you'll feel better after eating something delicious.
Whoa, that's amazing.
Wait, so as long as you pass the check, you can pretty much do anything, and it won't be seen as absurd?
Oh, thank you. You were right. This food really did make me feel better.
So, what had you so worried earlier? Could you tell us a bit more about...
Okay. A horde of monsters suddenly appeared near the capital recently, so all the guards were dispatched.
Do you remember when those monsters appeared?
I'm not completely sure. All I know is that my husband was dispatched to fight them 3 days ago.
Do you know where he was sent?
It all happened so fast. When we said our goodbyes, he couldn't even tell me where they were sending him.
You have our thanks, friend. We'll find and defeat those monsters as soon as possible. We sincerely hope your husband will be able to
Oh, thank you.
Don't worry. We'll find him. We don't always get to choose what happens to us. But we do get to choose the little things like what we eat and how we respond to the things life throws our way. I hope that one day you too will recognize the power of something as small and inconsequential as a delicious dessert.
I'll do my... You bid farewell to the woman and continue your journey further into the city. As you venture further into the city, the streets appear largely empty. An elderly woman walks past. You see her shake her head as she puts away her wrinkled wallet. A nearby merchant folds his arms and gives you a disdainful look. You get the impression that he's someone who has long gotten used to the sight before him.
seem very friendly. Merchants are usually a good source of information.
Pardon me, sir. I'd like to ask a question if I may.
That depends. How much are you willing to pay?
How about this much?
What do you take me for? Some lowly beggar? You can't even buy half an onion with that amount.
Surely an onion can't be that expensive.
What do you know? War's nearly upon us. Everything costs several times what it did before. If you're not gonna buy anything, then scram.
Whoa, what a nasty guy. Maybe we shouldn't even bother talking to him.
But he still might have information we need. Traveler, can you think of something?
A performance? By the harbor's grace, a lone boat lies in rest. Let the moon give chase, for here begins our quest. In the dark of shadow, our heroes seek to find where creatures born of evil weave their grand design. Blocked the road does stand, such is our hunter's plight. Yet with sword and courage in hand, they march forth to pierce the night.
I don't recall asking for a bardic song. Don't expect me to give you any coin. But if you meant what you sang, and you are indeed some kind of hunter, then by all means, please, go out and kill those monsters for us. Those monsters are camped outside the city, and they've been destroying all our trade routes. We have limited reserves within the city, so if this continues, we're all gonna be in big trouble.
Wait, you're saying no one has put a plan in place to distribute supplies or maintain order?
We could all starve and those nobles in the palace wouldn't even break a sweat. Who knows? Maybe they've been in cahoots with the monsters all along.
That is concerning.
Yeah, all right, I think I've said more than enough. Be on your way now.
Got it.
Don't mind him, Farina. He just doesn't have enough taste to appreciate you.
No, I was just thinking about how those nobles must be so cold-hearted. It's like they don't care about their people at all.
Should we try to go somewhere with more people?
Oh, how about the city square? Follow me.
Before you lies the city's central square. You see a man with a slightly anxious look on his face, pacing back and forth, his head hanging low. He doesn't seem to notice your approach. Still immersed in his own thoughts, he shakes his head and lets out a long sigh.
This guy seems promising enough. Maybe I can get some information out of him. Hello, sir. Is there anything I can do to help you?
Oh, wait. Oh, dear goodness! You're a Marashose hunter!
You recognize us? Ah, are you one of the people who wrote the commission letter?
Yes! Oh, I didn't expect you to actually come! Oh, what great news! The city is saved!
What happened here?
Alas, we once lived comfortable, carefree lives. This city used to be free of monsters. The first Marashose hunt, however, monsters have once again surrounded the city. Perhaps...
Are there not enough soldiers to drive?
It's not a question of numbers. The guards simply have no idea how to deal with them. Most people my age have never even seen one of the monsters, much less been trained to fight against them. When I was a child, though, my grandfather would tell me stories about how the Marashose hunters drove back the monsters. To be perfectly honest, I was starting to think all those stories were just tall tales. But now that I've seen you in person, I finally know that it was true.
Well, you can rest easy, friend. The righteous...
The man is touched by your determination and resolve. His eyes begin to well with tears of relief.
Still, if we are going to hunt the monsters, we need to know where to find them. Can you give us any leads?
All I know is that the area outside the city is dangerous. I'm afraid I can't point you toward a specific location. Oh, although, if you leave the capital through the main gate and follow the road, you should run into a group of guards. They might know more about where to find them.
I see. We'll go look for them then.
All right, be careful. Oh, and one last thing. The monsters outside the city are just part of the problem. There are evil sorcerers inside the city as well, so be on your guard. They're actively working with the monsters, and if corrupt, even one of our kindest ministers has turned into a boorish and
Talk about being stuck between a rock and a hard place.
I feel bad for him. Maybe we should try to cheer him up?
Like, now?
I appreciate your kindness, but for now, it's more important. Brave hunters, I leave the future of this king...
If I understood correctly, there are currently 2 problems in the kingdom that need solving.
Exactly. We need to defeat the monsters outside.
But which...
Well, this seems like a good moment for a break. Take some time and discuss what you want to do. Let me know when you've made your decision.
I really didn't expect the people in the city to keep us at arm's length like that.
Well, Clorinde said the script took cues from the real history of Fontaine, right? Maybe the real-life Marachose hunters were also treated like that.
I wouldn't say it's a perfect representation of history, but there are definitely some similarities. Would you like to hear?
Sure. As long as it doesn't spoil anything in the script.
Paimon wants to know too. The hunters were super powerful, right? Were they all from a...
No. All Marachose hunters were ordinary mortal fighters.
Huh? So you mean anyone could become a Mara?
In theory, yes. All you would need to do is survive the rigorous training and master the swordsmanship techniques required to... Still, most people dropped out at the early stages. And others called it quits the minute the...
What kind of monsters did the hunt...
The land of Fontaine, one of the ancient sorcerers of Remuria, used his power to assemble a formidable army of golems. He sought to use that...
Now wait a second. Don't tell me that guy was the inspiration for the evil sorcerer in the script. We still haven't found any in-game information on him yet. So, why don't you talk about someone else for...
Well, I wasn't planning on going into anything you might be able to find out in the game. But if you want me to talk about something...
Wait, but those people are all from a super long time ago. Where did you learn...
From my master.
By master, you mean Miss Petronia?
Is someone you...
Absolutely. Miss Petronia and my father were good friends. Back in the day, she would often bring Clorinde over to play, but...
Let's not get off topic. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Responding to Egeria's call, a number of warriors followed Cassiodor into battle against the monsters. Yet, as Fontaine entered an era of peace, their work gradually became obsolete.
I see. That explains...
Is that really a bad thing, though? It can get tough always being...
Depends on who you ask, I suppose. If the name of the organization no longer commands respect, investigative work is bound to suffer.
Speaking of investigations, which problem should we tackle first? Monsters? Or...
I vote monsters. That's the main duty of the hunters, right? We can come back to the sorcerer later.
Well said, Miss Farina. Plus, if the sorcerers really are the masterminds behind this whole thing...
What about you, partner? What do you think? It's decided then.
All right. After some discussion...
Let's take a look
You there! Outsiders, halt!
What? Who's there?
An armored man approaches you. He has a tall, muscular build and a determined although he's trying his best to conceal his current state, his uneven gait and the sweat drip. I'm the captain of the guard. I saw you sneaking around the city earlier, so I'll state your purpose, or it's off to the dungeons for the lot of you.
Wow, it's been a while since someone's been this suspicious of us.
I said talk, not whisper between yourselves.
Have you ever heard of the Marchese Hunters?
Marachose hunters? Ha! That fairy tale, you mean? What, you expect me to believe you're one of them? Using your knowledge of medicine, you're able to deduce that the injury on his calf was a monster's doing, and the wound has already begun to fester. As you check him over, he looks at you with suspicion and retracts his injured leg further back.
I'm a doctor by trade. Please, let me redress your wound. You don't have to suffer like this.
The man appears somewhat disgruntled at having been exposed, but soon relents. He allows you to apply a poultice of specialized medicine to the wound, and it appears to bring him much relief. The tension in his brow eases. All right. Guess you lot might actually be real Marachose hunters after all. In any case, you've successfully treated my wound. So, what do you want to know?
Do you know where we can find the monsters, or the other guards who are fighting them?
He informs you of the various locations where monsters have appeared. He looks in that general direction with a pained gaze, as if a thin, invisible thread is pulling on his wound. Some of our new recruits have never even dealt with a petty thief, and now they're out.
Oh, please, sir, don't get too...
Hearing you say that, a glimmer of hope flashes in his eyes. Those monsters aren't easy to deal with. I just hope all the guards will be able to come back to their family.
Based on what the captain said, the monsters should be right up ahead. Let's go. Hopefully we're not too late.
As you approach the battlefield, you see numerous people lying by the side of the road. They appear to be dressed like guards. Their faces are filled with desperation and terror. Some are screaming and cursing in vain, as if still trying to banish the monstrosities they saw from their minds. A few of the wounded look up at you in shock and disbelief. Quick, leave this place. Turn around and don't look back, they yell.
This is the place he mentioned.
You see broken, all the signs point to one thing.
Be on your guard, everyone. The monster...
Before you can finish your sentence, you hear rustling sounds from the surrounding bushes. The monsters have emerged. They close in on you without fear. You get the impression that, in their bloodthirst...
Ah! A little help here! This thing wants...
Your battle round begins.
Terminate! Scatter!
Let my name echo in song!
Here comes the finale.
The next battle round begins now.
Shower me with praise!
And voila!
The monsters let out a terrifying roar of anger and resentment before dissipating into thin air.
Oh, thank goodness it's over.
We're lucky the Marachose Hunter class came with all those preset skill points.
I never knew the photometer even determines the amount of damage you inflict.
That's part of the fun.
Just as you begin to celebrate your victory, a suspicious lump on the ground catches your attention.
A suspicious lump. Wait, could it...
I walk up to it, crouch down, and begin to carefully examine it. I've still got my right glove on, so it...
As you investigate the mound, you discover, with the monsters gone, the small...
Whoa, it's a treasure chest!
With everyone's help, you successfully excavate the wooden chest from even without opening it. You can tell from the mora and jewels scattered around the...
Makes sense. We worked hard for this. Let's open it.
I can understand your excitement, Paimon, but think about it. Doesn't it seem like there are people out there who need this treasure more than...
Yeah. Think about all the people suffering in the capital. Or all those guards who got hurt fighting the monsters.
Wait, is that how it works? Paimon thought since we were the ones to dig it up, we could just take it for ourselves.
Well, let's put it this way. Any decision you make during a role-playing game can impact the future course of the story.
But would the people really believe us? It's hard enough for us to prove we're Marachose hunters.
That's definitely something we should consider. Maybe we can come...
Well, if donating it could cause that much trouble, why don't we use it to buy some gear and fill up on good food? Then we'll be ready to fight even more bad guys.
Looks like you're facing a difficult choice once again. Well, it's getting late. Why don't we call it a day for now?
Wow! Where did the time go?
I'm not sure if it's because I'm having so much fun with you all or because the story is particularly enticing, but I feel like I could almost keep going.
Here, here. Ooh, how about we play through the night?
Yeah, that won't work for me either. Lynette will give me an earful if I get home too late.
I understand how you feel, Navia, but we have to change venues for the next part of the story anyway.
Huh? Another location?
There's a special note for the GM at the end of this section that says to proceed to an indoor set for the next part of the script.
Whoa, they really pulled out all the stops for this new script.
Well, even if we end the game for the day, we can still stay a little longer in here.
Something tells me you just want to finish the free desserts before we break for the day.
That's just a coincidence, okay? Besides, the Paimon not finishing free food feels even worse than having to buy... And anyway, Paimon really does want to hear more about Clorinde's master.
Well...
It's nothing. I appreciate the concern, but it's all in the past. My earliest memories are of living with Master. According to her, she saved me from certain people of ill repute.
What a heavy beginning for a life story.
Master was a fascinating individual. If inexperienced in the ways of raising children, my first ever toy was a short sword. Although I suppose it wasn't so much a toy as something Master removed from her waist and handed to a noisy child in need of distraction.
Wait, so she handed an actual sword to a child?
Of course I did. I cut my palm and bled quite a lot. But Master was not concerned. She just stood there and casually lectured me about, "See, that's what you get for not holding the sword properly," she told me. She then crouched down next to me and said, "Give me your hand. I'll teach you to bandage this wound. After that, it's time to learn how to truly hold a blade."
Excuse me for asking this, Clorinde, but how old were you exactly when all this...
Probably around, 3, give or take.
3? Isn't that when most kids are still struggling to hold a fork?
As I said, Master was rather inexperienced in the ways of raising children. She believed trial and error was the best way to teach a child what they're capable of.
I'm not so sure this is a question of experience.
I didn't see anything wrong with her ways at the time. And anyway, children don't get to choose how they're raised. Oh, she did bring me back a pet from Liyue once. It was a Geovishap hatchling.
A Geovishap hatchling? For a pet? That seems even more dangerous.
What she said was this: "Make sure to get along, you two. If you really can't agree on something, just settle it with a fight. Whoever..."
And how old were you when this...
5.
Well, did you win?
No, I lost.
So you're saying you actually became the Geovishap's pet?
Yes, but only for a week. By the end of that week, I defeated it in combat, and we've shared a cordial relationship ever since.
That really doesn't sound like the kind of childhood someone should have.
Later on, I gradually understood that Master most likely didn't know any other way to raise a child. She was a marechaussee hunter, but I never heard her bring up her own parents. Thanks to her, I learned how to navigate the forest by the age of 6, and could hunt monsters in the wild by myself the year after. Even though the training she subjected me to was strict, she always made sure to take me traveling when she had the time. We met many of her friends during those days. That was also how I met Mr. Callis and his family.
I still remember the first time we met. You were too scared to join our picnic and hid behind Ms. Petronia the whole time.
I still hadn't really met many children my age at that time, so I didn't know how to interact with others.
After that, though, you started coming over a lot. You loved challenging people to shooting competitions, remember? I don't think many members of the...
I had a lot of fun during those days.
I enjoyed them, too. Oh, do you remember that one time we went exploring around the Spina together? We overheard Papa call your master Fontaine's Protector of Justice. We tried to pretend like we never heard anything, but you nearly let it slip that one time.
Protector of Justice? Oh, wait, you mean that vigilante hero from 20 years ago?
Yep, that would be her. She often would put on a black cloak and go out at night. I never knew where she went or what she was doing. Until, like Navia said, we overheard...
20 years ago, huh? I still remember... Oh, there's no need to apologize. Although, calling herself the Protector...
Huh? When did the Protector...
Oh, she had a bunch of code names. I heard she would just come up with a name on the spot whenever she was asked. Later on, she probably got sick of answering those questions and decided to stick to just 2. The Protector of Justice and the Protector of Order.
That sounds like her, all right. I bet she forgot which of the 2 she'd used by the time she got back.
Well, she certainly sounds like a fascinating individual with her strong sense of...
It's true. I always wanted to become like her. Someone powerful, independent.
But...
She suddenly disappeared the night I turned 10 years old.
Disappeared? What happened?
I have no idea. She didn't even leave a note. I was never able to find out where she went. That night, I was celebrating my birthday at Navia's house, but Master never came to pick me up. When I returned home on my own, it was to an empty house. When she still didn't appear after a few days, I went to Mr. Callis's house to ask about her whereabouts, but he only shook his head.
Papa probably didn't know either. I know he sent a few people to investigate the matter in secret, but...
Don't worry, I understand. To be perfectly honest, given Master's personality and way of doing things, it all made a lot of sense. If I had to guess, I'd say she probably used it as an opportunity to force me to become independent. Just like how, when a litter of kittens reaches a certain age, the mother willingly leaves them behind.
What?
I was at first, but not anymore. I don't believe Master would suddenly disappear for no reason. There must have been something she just had to do.
Well, despite everything, you still managed to follow in her footsteps and become the greatest champion duelist in all of Fontaine. You're practically a living symbol of law and justice.
I suspect my position would be far too by the books for her. Master always did whatever she pleased. But you're right.
Who knew Clorinde had such an interesting past? I never had the chance to ask her about it before. And I wonder, if Clorinde's master were the champion duelist back then, would that duel against Mr. Callis have gone differently? Oh no. Judging by the atmosphere, Clorinde and Navia are probably thinking something similar. The mood just got super awkward all of a sudden.
Well, anyway... would you look at the time?
I had a great time today, Miss Clorinde.
Anytime.
The script was good. Hey, you should...
What does she mean, on to something? I certainly guess I'll head back as well. I need to say...
You're that excited to hear about my fight with the bishop?
I was talking about the script.
Osmanthus wine.
Let's go meet up with the group. Paimon's really looking forward to today's story.
Looks like everyone's here. Now, before...
Is that really the most important part, though, Clorinde? Paimon's more concerned about our current heavy walls, cold railings, dim lights. This is obviously supposed to be a prison.
I admire the work put into the set. Still, it's obvious the scriptwriter has never paid a visit to the fortress of Merope.
So the set is going to be a part of this...
Unfortunately, that is something I can neither confirm nor deny.
Anyone think Clorinde's smile is starting to look kind of...
Well, whatever happens, we'll just have to push on. But if we're worried about arousing suspicion because of our identity, why don't we give ourselves a different name, just like Clorinde's master did?
Yeah, it might be better to keep a low profile.
Staring at me won't get you anywhere. Or did you want some more tea?
Paimon's good. Thanks. Why aren't you saying anything, Navia? Wait, what's that next to you?
Oh, this is the short sword Clorinde mentioned last night. I found it.
Huh. I'm surprised you managed to track it down after all this time.
Well, I made sure to take good care of it, considering the circumstances in which you gave it to me. Of course I had to. Anyway, where were we? Oh, right. I was just thinking about all the potential ways for us to break out of prison. We could dig a tunnel, or try to bribe the guard.
Wait, we haven't been thrown into prison yet, have we?
Well, it's only a matter of time. It pays to be prepared.
All right, Paimon's made up her mind. Let's just give the treasure away. Paimon may have wanted to keep it, but if it's going to land us in prison
So, you reached an agreement? All right.
Oh, and we'll collect all the scattered pieces of treasure.
All right. You collect the treasure and make your way back to the capital with your The city is still shrouded in a gloomy, oppressive atmosphere. In places where sunlight struggles to reach, you generously share your wealth with the children. Thank you, kind soul. The elderly woman's look of gratitude follows you as you walk.
She's probably trying to tell us to speed this up.
Should we go find that man again at the square?
Oh, good idea.
Just as you start to make way to the square, intent on finding the man again, Please wait, distinguished guests. Several strange guards suddenly call out to you. They run forward to meet you, and
Greetings, gentlemen. Are we being invited for afternoon?
surely you jest, my lady. That would not be our place. It is His Excellency the King who
Do you think this could be a trap?
Well, we have to investigate the court at some point.
I say we go for it. If something happens...
After a quick discussion, you nod. Gilded tables line both sides of the hall. The space itself is adorned with all manner of expensive antiques, glass shelves, and silver candlesticks. The items appear quite ordinary in size and dimension, yet their presence somehow makes the emptiness of the hall feel even more surreal and ominous.
Wow, it's so luxurious.
The elderly king, clad in a magnificent robe, sits upon the deep crimson throne before you. He wears above his head a majestic crown with a gemstone that... They're here, your majesty. A man dressed in dark clothes, likely a minister, shields his... After a moment, he lowers his hands and stands back up.
The king does not appear entirely aware of his surroundings.
The king remains still and says nothing. The minister is the one who speaks. Esteemed guests, allow me to thank you for coming to our faraway kingdom. I've heard tell that your group, however, seeing that I was...
Well, we've got nothing to hide. You brought us here to... The golem's blades were so well, that was enough to...
Your account does indeed match those of the survivors. Since you were the ones who defeated the monsters, that must mean you are also in possession of the treasure they stole.
Well, we did take the...
How did he know about the treasure?
Then I must ask that you return it at once.
Wait, but didn't you just say that our great deed deserved a reward?
Yes, that was indeed what I said. But you seem to have forgotten a very important distinction. Only that which is freely given by the king can be considered a reward. Taking the rightful wealth of a kingdom without said permission, on the other hand, is a crime.
But that's completely unreasonable.
Yeah, that makes no sense. If it weren't for us, the treasure would still be buried underground somewhere.
Maybe so, yet the fact remains. You tried to dispose of the treasure without reporting it to the court and without receiving What, no answer? Surely you're not insinuating that you, a group of legendary marechaussee hunters, sought to take the treasure for yourselves?
Well, what about the king? Is he just gonna let this guy—
Clad in his magnificent robe,
From the look,
I would like to observe the number of guards stationed.
the guards in the palace appear fully armed.
Well, there goes my plan to turn the whole
It appears we've been visited by nothing more than a group of ill-intentioned impostors. What a pity. Guards, take them away and throw them in the dungeons. Before I decide your fate, however, I must first determine whether you have any accomplices outside the court.
Can't we try to slip away? Or maybe start some kind of riot?
but if we try to fight the guards right now,
Don't worry. At least we figured out who's behind all this. Let's just play it by ear. If you're scared, Paimon, just hold my hand.
Well, thanks.
You allow yourself to be led away by guards surrounding you. It's only when you begin to feel drops of water falling. Stay here. The guards lock the cell.
Wait, sir!
Your voice echoes.
No!
Carve out a new path of fate with our own two.
You reach toward your waist, but find nothing there. You now.
What about that knife I hid in my boot?
When did you hide it in there?
When I was thinking about digging a tunnel.
Rejected. You failed to inform the GM of this course of action. Moreover, the guards would have conducted a thorough search before throwing you in prison.
And the keys to the cell aren't anywhere to be seen?
Correct. You don't even feel a lock hole on the cell door.
oh, well,
Indeed.
Huh? Why are you the one saying indeed?
Because that statement holds true for me as well. This is where the script ends.
What? But that's a terrible end.
Generally speaking, this should be the point where the scriptwriter gives the players some kind of hint, or gives the GM some kind of code for how to move forward.
I mean, maybe they just really wanted us to be immersed in the feeling of being.
That is a...
If only there were desserts and tea in real prison.
oh, before I forget, Navia, the short sword you had with you earlier, I took a closer look, and the craftsmanship doesn't appear to resemble anything from this era. If I remember correctly, that style was last in vogue several hundred years ago.
Wait, Clorinde said that sword used to belong to her master, right? Does that mean her master has been alive that long?
I doubt it. The way she went about things often made her seem childish more than anything. I'd say the sword was most likely an heirloom passed down over time.
Hang on. A precious heirloom passed down to you by your master. And you gave it to me just like that? You...
Master left many things to me when she disappeared. There was the sword, an old key, and a good amount of junk I gave you the sword back then,
Wait, what?
after the duel. Between Mr. Callis and myself.
Before that, Clorinde would have meals with us and even stay over at the Spina some days. She was on great terms with Papa as well. After the duel, though, there was a period of time where we simply didn't know how to face each other. She entrusted this sword to me and never came back. We were both sad and conflicted and totally overthinking everything as a result. Whenever I looked at this sword, I couldn't help but wonder if Miss Petronia had never introduced us to each other at that picnic. Maybe part of the sadness I was feeling could have been avoided. Back then, it felt like I hadn't just lost a father, but a close...
No one can change the past. The most important...
Yep, you're right.
I'm sorry, you two. I didn't mean to bring up any sad memories.
Think nothing of it. No one here is at fault.
Looks like the next part of our script is here.
Perfect timing.
From Clarinde's face, Paimon really can't tell if it's...
Water continues to drip from the ceiling. In this lightless dungeon, you lack a reliable way to tell how much time has passed. Eventually, you get used to the unpleasant odor of straw, mold, and rust, and find yourselves alternating between fits of suddenly, you hear footsteps outside the door.
Heads up, everyone. Someone...
Gather close, everyone, and keep your voice down.
Who are you?
I work as a guard in these dungeons, but my true identity is the same as your own. I'm also a Marechaussee Hunt.
Huh?
Shh! I've already sent away the other guards.
I understand, but how can we be sure we can...
The king has issued a formal decree. In light of the irrefutable proof of your crime, you're to be executed before tomorrow's sunrise. If you want to escape, it has to be now.
Executed?
Monsters appearing at the same location as the
There will be time for speculation once we're out of here. As infiltrating the capital was difficult, and finding a chance to speak with you has taken a lot out of me. I could go on, but
Have you seen our weapons anywhere, sir?
Don't worry, I brought them with me. They're just behind the door. Still, these weapons alone won't be enough to defeat the true enemy behind the scenes. His faction is too powerful. The guards are all under his control. To defeat him, you must find a secret vault. It is said that within that...
You're not coming with us?
No, I'll remain in the dungeons to deal with the guards. I'll try my best to distract them so they don't go after you. As long as my identity is not revealed, I'll be...
In that case, please stay safe.
Thank you for your concern. I will do my utmost. As for the location of the vault, here, this map should lead...
Got it.
All right, once I open the door, remember to stick close and refrain from making it. You now have the chance, and...
With the help of the guard...
Wait, we didn't get to use our skills at all while we were in prison. Who knows when we're gonna get the chance to use that cool summon spell?
That is a pity, but we can only continue to move forward.
Stabilize! Everlasting as the moon! Laid bare! Shine down! Inazuma shines eternal! There is no escape! This is order! Transfixed. Witness my rise. Gather. Impressive bounty.
This should be the place marked on the map.
This bit of rock
Well, I'd say it...
Wow.
Before you, like...
Well, guess this week...
It's not. As you step into the cave, you find yourself.
Wow, this must be.
But this door is blocking our way in.
A pattern on a.
Is something wrong, Clorinde?
After a long, difficult journey, you finally arrive at the location indicated by your map. Your surroundings are exceedingly quiet and serene.
That description makes Paimon feel kinda bad for
We're doing this for the sake of the people.
Linny's right. We need to keep going. The next part of the story requires...
Yes. Something feels off about all this. Guess I'll just have to improvise.
Found something here, too.
Same here.
Something just appeared.
By solving the puzzles, you prove yourselves worthy of inheriting the secrets of the past at the end of each puzzle.
With?
A key.
Oh, it must be the key to the big door.
This is one of the Marechaussee Hunter keys that are passed down from generation to generation. It is said that 4 keys in total are required to form the final, complete key. And it seems like we just... Huh? You hear a few strange noises. Suddenly, all the torches in the ruin go out at once.
Huh? What's going on? Did we...
For the sake of immersion, please close your eyes, everyone. Without the torches, the space is now completely dark.
But Paimon can still see a little bit over here. Oh, right, sorry.
Suddenly, you hear the sound of footsteps.
There's someone else here?
I've been discovered.
Wait.
You recognize the voice as belonging to the guard who led you to this place. It appears he now covets the treasure for himself.
Oh, so this is just part of the script. Well, if we can't see anything, that means we can't fight to the fullest of our ability.
Judging by the way he's holding his sword, he must be a real Marechaussee Hunter. But this isn't part of the script.
Retreat! That's not the Hunter way. If it's dark for us, then it's dark for him.
Your choice is noted. Please keep your eyes closed until I tell you the torches have been relit.
You got it!
Well then, let us begin. Into the shadows.
I'd like to try to hit him with my sword.
Your strike is successful.
Ha! You're facing a veteran Marechaussee hunter. You don't stand a chance.
Is he still standing? Goodness, he sure has a lot of HP.
Is it over? Can we...
The enemy is strong.
What about now?
Final strike. Ha!
Oh, well, did we get him?
Warm fire flickers across the walls once more. Your vision is now clear. In an impressive display of courage, the four of you that look in his eyes. It's like he became an entirely different person as soon as I
Huh? Mr. Oh, wait. We're supposed to be role-playing. I should... Speak your name, guard. Why did you lead us here? Is this treasure really more important to you than bringing peace?
What kingdom? What peace? Those were nothing but lies. I, Florian, am a true Marechaussee hunter, descended from hunters of ages past.
So he's also using his real name. Or, wait, was that the name of his character from...
Then I'm even more confused. If you truly are a Marechaussee hunter, shouldn't you want to help us, just like you said before?
What do you know? In this day and age, there's no glory to be had as a Marechaussee.
What's that supposed to mean?
My skills were passed down to me by my father, and what did he get in return? A life of poverty and pain, in a world that forgot all about him. When he died, not a single person came to mourn his path. The Marechaussee hunters were the ones who saved this city.
Is he talking about how no one in the capital seems to remember the hunt?
So that's why you want to take the treasure for yourself? You feel like you're...
If you already knew where the treasure was located, why didn't you just...
Because I still needed the fight.
Only a true Marechaussee hunter is capable of passing through as someone who sought to hurt others for his own gain. Florian lost that right...
Okay, but what is this treasure anyway? We've got all the keys, right?
You're sure you want to go in?
We've been talking about it for so long, of course
And we've already defeated Florian, right?
Pesky brat.
Watch yourself.
Then let's open the door together.
All right. Your choice of action is confirmed. Before you, the door to the treasure, you hear the shrill wail of the door hinge as it rotates for the first time after years of disuse.
It's open! Come on, let's go in! Paimon wants to see what's inside!
Ooh, me too!
Ugh, uncovering hidden treasure is the most...
A stone tablet? And some shabby weapon?
You call this a treasure vault? Looks more like an abandoned warehouse.
Maybe the troop ran out of budget at the end?
They provided a super immersive experience at the beginning only to drop the ball.
Wait, I get it now. Paimon, this is the real Marechaussee hunter treasure.
Huh?
This is it? The Marechaussee hunter treasure is just a stone slab and some broken swords? I can't believe it. I refute.
Whoa, are you...
The Marechaussee hunter before you appears to suffer a serious mental breakdown. He needs to leave the room for a moment. One of you seems to understand the significance of the treasure.
What is the...
So, how are you doing?
I What just...
Do you remember how you got here? Or what happened to your body?
I remember now. I brought you here because I wanted to...
You mean these?
Huh? How did...
I could tell something was off the moment I stepped into this cave, so I kept an eye out.
So the strongest champion duelist in all of Fontaine saved the day once again.
I deserve some answers, don't you think? Tell me what everything you said earlier sounded like the truth. Luckily, your monologue was dramatic enough to convince my friends you were...
I don't know. I just always felt like there was something in my heart that didn't belong to me. The feelings about my father and the other Marechaussee hunters are real. It just wasn't fair. I don't know when.
But if the treasure was all...
I can't...
From your description, I suspect...
Devorator?
Oh, your master... your father, I mean.
No, I've heard of it. I'm just not... Wait, it can't be.
The seal?
My family has served as my father instructed me to always watch, but I neglected.
The Devorator would be a formidable adversary for any mortal being, even ones as capable as the Hunters. If you lacked the power to completely destroy it, you could easily fall prey to its influence and corrupt.
I heard it has the power to amplify the obsessions and desires in people's hearts.
And yet, you were able...
One of them belonged to my father. The second I stole from a different hunter. And the third... was one that I snatched while the person was on the way. I know just how strong you are. It's as clear as day to everyone in Fontaine. I observed you from dusk to dawn, but could never find any opportunity. The only way I could think to obtain that last key was to lure you here using your hobby, and then...
I won't comment on anything else, but the script was good.
Well, I did pour my heart and soul into it. The stories my father used to tell me about the glory of the heroic Marechaussee hunters.
It's more than just a story.
Huh?
You're proud to be a hunter.
I have done so many despicable things.
Then explain the purpose of the evil sorcerer in your... Isn't he the true antagonist? The one who sought nothing but his own gain.
But I've already tainted...
Wake up, Florian. Do you really think the hunters acted out of a desire for honor and glory? Or to... You do not wield your sword for yourself, but to protect the... Do you still not understand?
You're right.
I wouldn't be...
I know.
Good. Then, come with me. And help me see the script through to the end.
Huh? See?
Never finished it, huh?
No, I mean, I wrote the script.
Then we'll just have to keep writing it.
You mean the Devorator?
Is that really so hard?
You aren't afraid your party will fall into...
I know what my friends are capable of, and they're all quite skilled.
Then...
I don't intend to spoil the fun.
They're back!
That took what?
Ahem! My fellow Marechaussee hunters, please forgive me, for I have sinned.
Tone it down.
Sorry. After crossing swords with you and witnessing your courage in battle, I've rediscovered my true self and regained my pride as a Marechaussee hunter.
Oh, do I...
I confess, I was brainwashed by the evil sorcerer.
That little... Wait, you're saying all of that wasn't you, but the evil sorcerer...
That's right. He's adept at manipulating the...
And how are you...
To be perfectly honest, the treasure was
The names of all the Marechaussee hunters from ages past and their...
Wait, you already know?
Of course. Don't underestimate a veteran role player's exploration skill.
We just finished reading through the content of the stone tablet.
That tablet recorded the lives of some fascinating people. For example, this Marechaussee hunter called Est. She inherited the responsibilities of the Golden Hunter and passed judgment on many people. But in private, she had a very easygoing personality. Her favorite pastime.
So, she was just like you.
Oh, you really think so?
Well, when you put it that way, I suppose I also have a few things in common with this Walter. Working as an executioner, he supposedly used a countless number of tricks to confound his enemies in battle. Oh, if only I could have seen the feats of magic he pulled off back then.
Their lives were all so exciting. You could write so many cool books about their accomplishments. How could they have all been forgotten?
Because they chose to be. To hunt monsters that only appear in the shadows, you must also operate in the dark. To be a Marechaussee hunter is to whip.
Then this stone tablet must have been left behind by their companions.
That's right. Few Marechaussee hunters ever revealed their identity to the public. They always protected the city from the shadows. The only time they spoke of their accomplishments would be at night, when they gathered with their fellow hunters in front of the bonfire.
So, this tablet was created not so that the...
No wonder this place was so well hidden.
You regard the stone tablet in solemn silence. The names of your comrades etched on the tablet proves that, although a hunter walks a shrouded path, it is not a solitary one. There will always be those who walk beside you, a fact that remains as true today as in ages long past. Their legacies shall continue to be passed down from generation to generation, as everlasting as the stone onto which their names are carved.
Father, you once told me that I should seek out the treasure if I ever became lost. So this is what you wanted me to find. Thank you, my friend. I implore you, everyone, please give me a chance to make up for all I've done. Allow me to fight alongside you and defeat the evil sorcerer that threatens the peace and prosperity of everyone in this kingdom.
Well, I say we let you join.
Sounds good to me too. Everyone makes mistakes. What matters is what you do to make up for them.
I have no objections, but... Mr. Florian, do you even know how to defeat the evil sorcerer?
When he took over my mind, I gained some insight into his thoughts. Every time I thought of the treasure, he reacted with a strong sense of fear.
Huh? He's afraid of the treasure? But there's nothing here except some broken weapons and the stone tablet.
What if the secret's hidden inside these weapons? GM, permission to investigate.
first glance, the weapons appear absolutely ordinary. But as you observe them, you notice a faint energy emanating. These blades have slain countless monsters.
So basically, take these with us, right?
I'll take this weapon, since it used to belong to...
Ah, good idea. I'll take Mr. Walter's bow then, from one archer magician to another.
Paimon's gonna be...
As you grip your weapons, you can almost feel the will of past hunters coursing.
Mr. Florian, do you know where to find the evil?
I was able to see us. We must be extremely...
Then why don't we explore...
No,
I agree with Mr. Florian.
Yeah, now that we've got a plan, there's no point in waiting.
Yes, that's what's called... Yes,
Alright, you've...
Mr. Florian?
of course.
He had to set up so many...
Finally, you decide to... As you walk away, you feel the gaze of the stone tablet at your back. Finally, you arrive at the church floor. As you approach, an ominous aura surrounds.
How strange.
Now, it is time for the final battle.
Let's go!
Florian, wait.
What's wrong?
I think you should wait outside. You've already been corrupted by the devil. I don't think it's a good idea.
That's exactly why
You...
Yes. I intend to lure it into my body.
That's too risky.
I understand, but if I do this, you'll have a clear and visible target. The Devorator will have a hard time passing up a chance to enter a body it knows how to control. You're not like me, Miss Clorinde. You're a just and powerful Marechaussee hunter. This is... Consider it a duel to restore my honor.
Then, as a champion duelist, I hereby accept your request for a duel, and extend to you my most sincere regards. The battle is now upon us. Let the Devorator once again tremble under the blade of the...
So lifelike!
This foe is not invincible. You hold the treasure, the power to defeat it, in your own two hands.
The treasure? You mean... the names. It's the Marechaussee Hunters' names.
How are we supposed to...
You forget, Paimon? There's still one skill we saved until the very end.
Hunters fight not for fame, but to aid the people whenever they are summoned.
Walter the Marechaussee Hunter, master of 1,000 tricks, executioner of the Phantom Hunters, I call for aid!
Est, the Marechaussee Hunter, inheritor of Cassiodor's will, judge of the Shadow Hunters. Answer my call! Petronia, protector of justice and order, the hunter I respect the most. Thank you for saving my friend, the best one I'll ever know. Please, lend us your strength.
We have come to answer your summons. And so, the monsters were eradicated, and the sorcerer was to defeated. Peace soon returned to the capital, though some remembered the names of the heroes who saved their kingdom, but others simply continued their lives none the wiser. Such is the story of the Marechaussee Hunters. They pursue the phantoms in the darkness and exterminate all who pose a threat. They will always protect the...
I'm assuming we've finally reached the end of the script.
Yes, you've reached one of the better endings.
It's a pretty solid story overall. I thought it was just an ordinary adventure at first, but the further we got into it, that final battle especially, all the effects were...
Oh, right, yeah. That's a really good point. I never expected the weapons we picked up from that vault would have that kind of effect.
Yeah, mine nearly scared the... Oh, we should probably give these props back, right?
Did you have a good time?
Of course. Let me know if enough...
Sure, no problem.
Then I'll head back for now. I think I need some... Once Mr. Florian is awake, please pass on my regards.
You're right. He's had a lot to deal with.
Well, see you all some other time.
Okay, so, can I ask now?
I think it should be fine, yeah.
What in the world was going on back there?
So you saw through all of that?
That time in the cave when you told us to close our eyes, it'd be weirder if we didn't notice anything.
I was dying of curiosity the entire time. I mean, you...
Guess none of us wanted to be the one to break the illusion.
What are you all talking about?
Oh, wait, don't...
Bit late.
You're saying everything that happened back there wasn't actually part of the script?
It's probably more accurate to say this was never a real scripted story to begin with.
What?
So loud.
Hey, you! Get up right now and explain yourself!
No shaking, please!
Did Paimon just hear that right? You guys made up that whole last part on the spot? It's not nice to lie to people, but Paimon's gotta admit, that was a really good story, Flora.
Yeah, it was like watching a magician improvise a spectacular...
If Paimon knew something was wrong with that vault, she would have floated straight.
Everything was under control.
As if you've ever described a situation as being out of control.
Guess I'm just used to it.
You must run into a lot of unexpected situations then.
As for you, Flo...
I know there's no excuse for what I did. I'll turn myself into the guards at once, confess my crimes, and...
I would say you've already suffered more than enough. You may have been blinded by fame and fortune in the beginning. You'll be far more used to the city above ground than below. Your job as a hunter is more important.
But...
Of course, you'll still need to take the keys and pay a personal visit to the two hunters you...
yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, though, your showing in the duel was enough to prove...
Then thank you so much, everyone. Until we meet again, everyone.
speaking of Marashose hunters, what should we do?
Leave it be.
Are you sure? We could show it to people. Make it so that the...
No. Every name on that... I am no exception. My identity as a Marashose hunter is not something I need...
That's certainly very different from the path of...
Wait! I just remembered something.
That's because the Marashose hunters of ages past would often imbue their weapons with special enchantments.
Oh, so that...
Well, I'm sure the summons were a part of it too.
Oh? How's...
This particular devorator probably hailed from the same era. The names you recited all belonged to the bravest.
So the names held the power all along.
Navia, everything you said during your
Huh? Oh, I meant what I said. I mean, it was true to my character, so...
I really appreciated those words.
All right. Don't get all sentimental on... anyway, let's not talk about that anymore. I'm going to go on ahead. Don't fall too far behind.
She ran off.
I should probably head back as well. This story was truly incredible.
Traveler, should your name and deeds be forgotten, what do you think the significance of your journey will be?
I suppose the significance would be the journey itself and the world we helped create. There's still value in the time I shared with everyone here, in the things we were able to accomplish, even if no one remembers them.
A great answer. I'll remember it. Me, the Marashose hunter, says nothing in response to that quest. Perhaps her answer lies in her silence, an unspoken...
Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I